What's going on, guys? I am Toxic Jordan. Welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be attempting to take down the nasty super bosses mission for the 9th anniversary battle part 1 here. So yeah, we did attempt this in the other video for the 9th anniversary part 1 content here, but we were not successful. We were going with a cheeky like double Caulifla build with the dodging Ribrianne on there as well. The physical one right here, and that didn't end up working out for us too well, you know, on the Broly side of things. That Broly stage is really nasty, so I think what we're going to go ahead and do is switch it up a little bit. This is the build that, oh, not this, sorry about that, this is the build that we're going to be running with. So yeah, we'll go ahead and try to beat it. I guess, you know, we'll try our best here, see what we've got. I do have a support memory active. I don't really care too much about doing a no item clear for this, so if we do end up having to use that Whis and stuff, then that's fine. We will take advantage of that. But yeah, we are going to go the Beast Gohan route here. I think it's just going to be a little bit easier for us to take down the Beast Gohan. Overall, he seems like an easier boss to defeat than the Broly, right? Which I guess makes sense, because the way that these fights are usually designed is like you fight the opposite. So with your Super Bosses team, they want you to fight against the Beast Gohan, and then with your Superheroes team, you would fight against the Broly, which obviously the Broly is a tougher boss in my opinion, so I think that you would have a better chance, you know, with a superhero team that is much stronger than this Super Bosses team we have access to here. Alright, so not a super amazing turn 1 here. This will be my first time trying out this team against this phase, so I don't know really what to expect. Okay, and right away we're getting hit with a slot 1 super. Let's see if we even survive this. Okay, we take a lot of damage there, but we do survive it. Obviously that was from a not built up Cell Max, so that could have hurt a little bit less. But that's perfectly fine. We still have a fighting chance here. And, you know, even if we do have to take a couple of L's first, that'll be all right. Just to kind of get us acclimated with how each of these units are going to perform in this, you know, in this battle setup. I think I did make the right choice, though, by putting Cell Max first like that. I'm pretty sure that these Broly's pre-super attack are not strong enough to be able to tank that way. So they probably would have been KO'd. More than likely would have been KO'd. Alright, well, so far we're doing pretty good. A lot of damage here on the first phase. Looks like it's probably going to go down in 2 turns. Let's see. As far as building up, because we obviously want to make sure to save all of our special stuff for the very end of the fight on that 3rd and final phase here against Beast. So yeah, just as far as factoring in the Broly domains, I mean, we do have 2 Broly domains to activate, so we'll definitely activate one of those as soon as possible. There's no other domains on the team, I believe. Oh, wait, there is the Zamasu domain. But yeah, I think I would rather prioritize the Broly domain, so I'm gonna most likely end up skipping out on the Zamasu domain. Probably, yeah. And then we have the Jiren standby as well, which I believe that one comes up turn 3. So it looks like we'll be able to use that on turn 4. Okay, and then, yeah, he should survive this first phase. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be taking him down here. Yeah, probably not. Okay. So just looking ahead at our next rotation here, I'm not sure who's going to be the best idea to put in slot 1. Okay, so the support memory helping us out already, which is nice. I mean, I guess Jiren. He does have the most defense here. Should I maybe keep the Frieza on rotation, though, and just rotate the Zamasu? Probably, right? That's probably the best way to do it. The only thing that sucks is that Zamasu does get quite a bit of build-up as he receives hits. So you kind of want him to get hit, but I think it's probably going to be smartest to just float him. Yeah, let's just run it like that. And then especially for this turn specifically, Zamasu's not going to have to worry about anything because Jiren should finish him off. And if not, then the Frieza definitely will. Okay, that's a little bit scary. We could have been in a bad situation there if we had just gotten supered. So that was a little bit lucky that there was no slot 1 super headed our way, right? Okay, we get the attack break, which is nice. Into a dodge. Very good, very good. Oh, wow. Okay, so maybe Zamasu will be able to attack. We actually didn't do as much damage as I was thinking, yeah. And the Frieza obviously does, like, next to nothing. Okay, well, now I'm even questioning if we're going to... if Zamasu's going to finish him. It's possible that if Zamasu just does an attack here that doesn't crit and doesn't do any more additionals... Okay, the crit came through for us, so we do finish off the phase. So there we go. All right, and now we have the Broly trio out for the first time. They are not able to get their 7 orbs for the guaranteed dodge. That's going to be something that we are going to heavily rely on with them. Unfortunately, they're not going to be able to get it this time around. Oh, we're close there with the 6 orbs. Okay, that's fine. This is going to be giving a little bit of an attack buff to everybody. So, no big deal there. And then, as far as that final slot, I think... Okay, so if I select this, the board's going to be better set up for the next turn. But if I select this, we'll get a little bit extra healing. What's the Broly's defense at? Yeah, he is at a solid defense number 2. I think barring a super attack coming our way, we kind of need to rely on that. Yeah, and then next turn, as we're selecting orbs, we will... try to make sure to make the orbs available for the Broly trio. Obviously, we didn't really have that freedom on the last turn because we were going to be moving on to a new phase anyway. We just got a little bit unlucky with the fact they were in slot 7. So we couldn't quite plan for it. But yeah, on the next turn that they return, maybe we'll be able to set that up properly. Though, I don't know. Depending on the amount of damage we do here and then next turn, we might even just KO the phase in 2 turns again, making it so that they show up at the beginning of a phase, so we can't really, you know, control the orb selection. But nonetheless, we got a little bit lucky here with them because they don't have to take any attacks on this turn. So we know we're going to be good for this one at least. And then obviously once Broly does all of his super attacks, he should be able to tank a super attack coming in the final slot if there is one locked and loaded for us. Alright, so... you know, so far so good with this stage. I don't know if it's going to be worthwhile. I mean, obviously I could use the Whis, like if we get through this phase and then just pop a double Whis to have 2 free turns of not having to worry about any damage for that final phase. But we do also have the Broly domains, which I guess I need to remind myself what the activation conditions for are those. And then we also have the Cell Max active skill that we're going to be able to utilize as well. Which I know a possible strategy would be to use a friend Cell Max as well. You'd be taking quite a big cut to the leader skill for everybody, but having that second target all, you know, turn could be really, really good for him. Okay, yeah, it looks like we are going to actually finish off the phase here. So... let's see, there was no super attack last turn. Let's go ahead and put Jiren in standby. Get him nice and protected. And then quickly, I want to check the activation condition for that domain. Oh, okay, so it's just 5th turn from their entry turn. And I guess that's good because both of the Brolys showed up on turn 1, right? And then obviously neither of the Brolys are on turn 5, so that works out well for us, doesn't it? We're not going to be able to activate the domain until turn 6. Okay, but yeah, I kind of want to put... because there was no super attack last turn, I kind of want to put Jiren in slot 1 for fear that a super attack could happen right away. I think it makes the most sense to put Jiren there. Unfortunately, we can only select 3 orbs with him, though. So he's not quite at that invincible level with the 100% damage reduction. But then we are going to get a nice heal in here. We should be back to full HP. Yeah, that was a lot of orbs selected with the Frieza. That's very good. Okay, and there it is, that slot 1 super. We could have anticipated that. And in fact, we did anticipate that. Okay, it was still enough to double-digit tank, so that's good. Okay, so now we know for sure we're going to be safe for the rest of the turn, since we already got the super attack out of the way. And then this should be the end of the phase again, which, again, not the greatest because we have the Broly trio coming up next rotation, and ideally we would have liked to be able to control the board a little bit for them to make sure that they can get those 7 orbs. Because if we can have the 7 orbs at the start of turn, then we have a good slot 1 unit, because they'll get the guaranteed dodge, so we know we can just throw them in slot 1, and we'll be safe against a slot 1 super. And then most of the rest of our units should be fine against, you know, post-super attack supers that they receive. Okay, let's see if we get lucky here with the orbs. Almost. Not quite, though. Okay, so because of that, I think what we're going to do here is use the Cell Max active. Yeah. Yes, sir. Okay, so we'll go ahead and pop the Cell Max active here. Do some free damage to this final phase. There we go. A little bit of damage incoming. We get the target all activated there. And then we can just grab all these orbs for the Broly trio. Hopefully they can, you know, assist us in doing quite a bit of damage here. And then we'll grab... Yeah, I guess these orbs with Cell Max. I do want to make sure to... Yeah, we're over that 25 key spheres selected now. We definitely needed that for Jiren, right? For next turn. And then I think I want to say... We have a lot of AGL next turn. So I think I am actually just going to save all those AGL key spheres. We'll go ahead and select this int key sphere on the side. Yeah, that's probably the smartest way to go. Alright, and then Cell Max should be basically invincible here, so I can't imagine we'll take damage from a super attack. Probably not, right? Alright, would be lovely if we were getting in some crits here. The guaranteed crits. There we go. That definitely helps us do a little bit of damage with them. Obviously, they didn't have the greatest turn of orb selection, so that kind of hurts, but... Okay. Let's see what kind of damage Cell Max is going to be able to do for us here. 25 mil, not bad, not bad. We're going to have a pretty heavily damaging rotation on the next turn. The nice thing is that we'll be able to put Jiren into full power, which means we're going to get the Scouter. So worst comes to worst, we know we can put Jiren in the way of the attack no matter where it is. Because obviously he's going to have the best chance to tank whatever super attack. Okay, moment of truth. Does Cell Max tank the super here? Yes, he does. Double-digit tank it. All right. Unfortunately, that super attack didn't happen before his attack, because then we would have had a guaranteed additional, which I guess could have been cause for me to put him in slot 3, but I just didn't want to rotate him off in case we do come back to this rotation. It would have been pretty scary to have Broly Trio potentially not getting the 7 orbs for the dodge, and then have the Zamasu out as well, right? Okay, here we go. So, we can activate the domain with Broly, which is perfect, because upon activating the domain, we are going to now be able to link the Brolys together, which is going to help them do a lot more damage this rotation. So that is really, really good. And then, we'll go ahead and put Jiren into full power. Awesome. And the super attack is in the second slot there. Okay, here's my strat. Because we activated the domain, and... okay, let's see here. Increase damage received by superclass enemies and allies by 10%. Jiren is superclass, so that means he's going to be taking 10% more damage. I think I want to run the rotation like this. And then we'll do... Yeah, this is probably smart. I'm thinking we're going to be able to do enough damage to fully deplete their HP prior to having to worry about that super attack. And then I guess if we do have to worry about the super attack, let's just pray that with the domain up and stuff, we will be, you know, we'll still be able to tank it, right? Because obviously we're about to do a lot of attacks. This is a rainbowed friend Broly, so he's going to do you know, quite a bit of damage for us here, and then obviously get a lot of defense raises with all those super attacks as well. Okay, starting out with 26 million. This, if there were ever a time for you to show out Broly, would be right now. Let's see the 6 super attack turn. Okay, followed by an 18 million. Obviously, it would be nice to see some crits in here as well, just for that additional damage. Okay, so far no crits. Another 19 million super attack. We're only going to need like 2 crits or so. Maybe 3. I don't know if he's going to do it. Oh, goodness. We're going to need to get lucky. We definitely do need to get the hidden potential system additional. It has to be a super, and we have to crit. Okay, 20 mil. Is this the last one? I don't even know. I haven't been keeping count. I don't know if there's one more potentially that we could do after, or if this is the last one. That was. Okay. Well, let's hope with all those super attacks that was enough for him to raise his defense high enough to tank this. Let's see. Not even close. Okay. Yeah, so we did have to get the KO there, or we were just done, right? There was definitely nothing we could do. But we know that Cell Max can tank that. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is we will try out a Cell Max friend. Let's try this build and see if we can make it happen here. I would like to do this prior to, because obviously the other option there is we could have popped the double Whis and then we would have been fine for sure. So yeah, I'm not gonna let myself get KO'd this time. Worst comes to worst, we will just use the Whis. But it seemed like we had a chance there to get that done with the no item thingy, so it was worth the shot. It was worth the shot. Okay, we'll grab these for Jiren, and we'll get those for Zamasu. Probably not going to see a Dokkan attack on this run, but I suppose it's worth still trying to build up that Dokkan gauge if possible. We were lucky enough to get the 7 orbs with the Broly trio there, so safety on turn 1 is good. Okay, now we have both of our Cell Maxes on the second rotation here. Probably just going to split them, slot 1 and slot 3, so that we can get them on opposite rotations. That way, once we get to that final phase, or yeah, probably will save it for the final phase, but we can use his target all mechanic and have 2 turns of safety, since we know he is capable of tanking that super, right? Okay, so with 1 less Broly on the team, and the lower leader skill overall from the Friend Cell Max, it's probably going to take us a few more turns to get through this than we were before. But I can't imagine that being the biggest deal. I think, oh no, are we just dead here? We might be. Oh, never mind, never mind. He's still got, like, damage reduction up and stuff, right? He's not really going to be a fish until he fizzles out later on. But that's going to take a little while to happen. Okay. A bit of an unfortunate turn as far as the orbs are concerned. And then, keeping in mind, we do have the Broly trio coming up again next turn. I think I'm going to select these orbs, hoping the reds fall properly. We might be able to make that work. If we go, like, Jiren slot 1, I think we can set up the board where we have the 7 orbs for the Broly trio. We'll see, we'll see. But yeah, obviously we are moving through this a lot slower. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, we are moving through this quite a bit slower, unfortunately. As we were 2-turn clearing each of the phases before, it's looking like we're getting a 3rd phase on this first turn. Which just means that we are going to have to probably pace ourselves with all the actives and stuff, right? I think we'll throw Jiren in standby immediately. No reason to wait on that. Yeah, actually, that probably is the best idea. Throw him in standby, and then we'll definitely be in the second phase at least, once he goes into full power. And then we'll just have him full power for the entirety of that final part of the fight, right? Okay. So, yeah. We'll put Jiren in standby. Oh, we get all that orb changing. Because if I select this orb right here with Jiren, then we're going to be able to select the 7 orbs guaranteed with the Broly Trio. If we get these with Jiren, that would be nice, but I don't know if we'll get the 7 orbs with them. We might not. So yeah, I think I am actually going to do this. I'm pretty sure he'll have enough damage reduction to be able to tank even if there is like a slot 1 super. So yeah, we'll do that. And then I guess we might as well just grab all of these with Broly. Sure. Okay, well, now we got to put it to the test. There is that slot 1 super. Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. Plenty of damage reduction to go around there for him. I suppose the other option that we did have is to like wait all the way until the final phase to put him in standby to give us that free turn of protection. But I think it's going to be more worthwhile just because he is still pretty defensively viable even in that final form. For us to get the extra attacking power that he's going to do, right? Just to get us through these phases a little bit quicker. And then, you know, obviously we do still have the 2 target skill turns with the Cell Max that are going to help us out. Where we might not necessarily need Jiren to tank. Okay, and then Broly should finish off this phase here, taking us on to the second phase of the fight, finally. Let's see, let's see. Oh yeah, easily. Easily gonna take him down. Okay. Moving on to phase 2. Again, I think we're probably going to rotate Zamasu off. Okay, so the support memory not helping us out quite as much this time since it just proc turn 4 instead of when our HP was actually low, right? Definitely going to hold on to the Cell Max active. Don't want to use that yet. Okay, so we have... Maybe we should rotate off Broly Trio on the next rotation. Because we finally have our Cell Maxes set up to be our de facto, like, slot 1 units with their massive defense. And then we're going to have Jiren that we probably want to keep on rotation. And then Broly is going to come around onto this rotation. So we'll probably do a rotation of Cell Max Jiren, Cell Max Broly. And then float the other 3. Yeah. Okay, so that being considered, I'm not going to try too hard to conserve the orbs for the next rotation. Though it looks like we might get lucky to do that anyway. The problem with it, though, is if we do decide to run the rotation this way, we're not going to be selecting orbs with the Broly Trio until they're in, you know, until it's our 3rd attacker of the turn. So we don't really need to try too hard to set up orbs, especially with, like, an abundance of rainbow orbs like that. With our first 2 Key Sphere selections, we're probably going to be able to set that up for them properly anyway. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that works. Alright, lots of nice damage coming in from Cell Max. That is good. Obviously, the quicker we're able to get through this phase, the better. But it looks like it's probably going to be 3 turns again. Okay, so that was quite a bit of damage that we just took from that super. That's definitely not the best. This probably just means that we're not going to be able to tank a super like that again on the next turn. So hopefully... Well, Jiren should be able to tank one perfectly fine, especially post-super attack. Oh, Frieza. Did I not select an... I don't... that was my bad. I think maybe I didn't pay attention to how many orbs I was selecting with Frieza, because obviously with his passive, as the turns go on, you have to select more and more orbs in order to get the damage reduction. So I think maybe I just didn't select enough orbs and I whoopsied. No big deal. All right, let's go ahead and jump back in one more time. That was a bit of a blunder by me. Whoopsie. Okay, hell of a turn 1. We've got 2 Cell Maxes and a Jiren here. As long as Broly's not in slot 7, yeah, maybe we'll have a chance to finish this first phase in 2 turns. Let's see. Okay, we'll grab these, and then... Do we have Broly Trio coming up next? We do. I guess with that considered, we can try and conserve the purple orbs. Maybe we can get lucky if some more fall in at the top. No. Okay, because of that, I'm gonna select all the purple orbs, and maybe the reds can help us out-ish. Ugh. Yeah, it doesn't look too great for the next rotation. I don't think they're going to be able to get the 7 orbs. So that is definitely something that hurts. We don't have a slot 1 unit on the next rotation. Okay, I'm not too worried about taking the damage early on since we do have the support memory, right? We're going to heal most of that back on the next turn anyway. So that'll be fine. And then through same type orb selection, we can probably get some additional HP back as well. So yeah, that's definitely not too bad. Okay. This is definitely the kind of damage we did want to see from Selmax there. Awesome. Oh my goodness, he is going absolutely nuts. The guaranteed additional that he got from, you know, getting super definitely helped out there. Wait a minute, are we gonna 1-turn the first phase? I suppose there's a possibility that we do here. Just depending how much damage we do with our Selmax. Oh, and we get the additional super with Jiren. Yeah, it looks like we might just 1-turn the first phase, which is not the worst thing. Not the worst thing. Getting to, you know, obviously we don't have a ton of units that really need to build up intensely. So yeah, getting to that final phase as quickly as possible will be good for us, right? Especially with a couple of units like the Frieza and the Zamasu that do fizzle out a bit. It will be nice to just get through this as quickly as we can. Alright, is this attack going to do it? Or is he going to survive? Let's see, let's see. He does survive, and then the normal finishes him off. Okay. I was actually just about to say it wouldn't be the worst thing because of the rotation we have coming up if he did survive that. And then we just had a sliver of health to work with. Because now, obviously, we have a lot of detrimental attacks to work with. Okay, but the good news is that we were below that HP threshold, so we're able to get the active, or, you know, the passive skill effect for Broly Trio. So we get that full field of orbs, and then we did get the support memory heal. Obviously, we didn't really need it, considering we had the Broly Trio passive. But there we go. Then we get these orbs selected with Frieza, and what should I do for Zamasu? Probably, I guess we'll just grab the 1 tech orb. That'll be fine. Alright, 26 million, not bad. This should be guaranteed crit as well. Or, oh, no, I guess not. I was thinking of another piece of their kit. Or another unit's kit. The 50% supports that have that same ability. They're also giving themselves crit chance per orb obtained, so I'm always used to doing the full key sphere selection of the whole field and then having the guaranteed crits, but I often forget that Broly Trio doesn't have that same ability. Okay, and then Frieza is tanking nicely. Love to see that. And Zamasu should be able to tank here perfectly fine as well. I wasn't paying that close of attention if we received a super attack on that first turn or not. So there might be a slot 1 super coming in at us again, but we're up to almost 1 million defense with Cell Max. And the good news is, because we can keep Cell Max in slot 1, we can actually keep Jiren in slot 2, so he can provide the passive support for us, right? Okay, so I am going to do a funky thing. We have access to the 7 orbs here. There's all of those AGL orbs, so I'm just going to keep those available for us, so that on the next rotation, we can make sure to select them all with the Broly Trio and have a perfectly safe slot 1 rotation. So we'll just get the 1 orb with Jiren, and then that way we can grab all of these with Broly, and then there we go. We're set up to grab our 7 orbs on the next rotation. So yeah, that'll work out perfectly fine. Should anyway. Okay, well, our HP is looking a little bit treacherous, but I'm thinking we have a pretty solid defensive rotation coming up, so we'll more than likely be fine here. Alright, and lots of damage incoming too. Obviously, Jiren and Broly are going to do quite a bit for us. Oh! Oh, wow. Actually, it looks like we're going to be on to the final phase. So then that is a little bit of a bummer because the key field is going to change again. So the Broly Trio might not actually be able to get the 7 orbs, but that's okay because Cell Max is going to be able to activate his target skill, so they're not going to be taking any damage anyway. Ooh, got a little app crash in there. Gotta love when the app crash happens, you know, almost at the end of a super long turn like this where we get a million additional attacks and stuff, right? And, you know, one thing that does suck is that there is a bit of RNG with the critical hits and things like that, that can potentially proc differently, you know, when you reset the app. So it is possible for us to do a different amount of damage here. But it looks like we're still probably not going to, you know, have Beast Gohan surviving the phase. Oh, well, I guess I did forget. Jiren's in standby, so he's not doing any attacks. Maybe they'll survive just with, like, barely any HP. It's really going to depend on Broly here. Just going to depend on the kind of RNG that we get with him, whether he survives the rotation or not. Obviously, if Jiren was attacking, then definitely. But yeah, my Broly is built pretty defensively, so he isn't going to be, you know, dishing out crits and stuff like that too much. Oh yeah, it looks like Beast is actually going to survive the rotation. I don't know if that's good news or not. I mean, I guess it is good news in the sense that now we know the Broly Trio is going to be set up for success with the 7 orbs. But yeah, we'll probably hold off on the Cell Max active since we're not going to be on that final phase yet. Yeah, so with that considered, we'll grab all these orbs, and now we're safe in slot 1. And then I guess we could just get the 1 orb with Cell Max to get some healing. It's going to provide a little bit. It's only at 400k there. That could be better, but I don't think it's going to matter too much anyway. And then we'll grab all these orbs with Frieza, just in case the rotation gets late enough that, you know, we have to see him deal an attack or something. You know, he doesn't do, like, any damage, so he would have to tank those attacks at the end, so I want to make sure to not make the same blunder that we did last time, right? Though I do have full faith in Cell Max to be able to deplete this remaining health bar, so shouldn't be a problem, but that was a good, just in case. Oh, yeah, and, well, okay, it looks like Broly Trio is just gonna take care of it. Not bad, not bad. Okay, so now we are on to the final phase. So we are in business here. We've got the Cell Max active. We have the Jiren standby. So this is actually perfect here. So we're going to be protecting Zamasu. He's not going to have to take any attacks. We'll go ahead and put Jiren into full power so we can see where that super attack's going to be at. There is no super attack on this turn. Interesting. Okay. Because there's no super attack... Wait a minute. Oh, I just realized... I'm silly. We did not, okay. Something dumb just happened here. We didn't get enough orbs selected, so Jiren went back into his base instead of going into full power. Let me go ahead and reset the app because we can fix that problem. We can fix that error. Okay, so we are only at 23 orbs, and we need to be at 25. So what this means is we need to decide who our slot 1 unit is going to be. So we got a little bit unlucky here, because what my original idea was we were going to put Jiren into full power. That was going to show us where the super attack is, and then I was going to make sure to place Cell Max in a later slot on the turn than where the super attack was, if that makes sense. Because in doing that, what I would effectively accomplish is making sure that Cell Max gets the guaranteed additional from receiving the super attack, prior to him attacking, right? But now, because I don't know where the super attack is, I don't know where to put Cell Max. And the other problem is, I know I probably don't want to rotate off Cell Max, so we kind of have to put him in slot 1, because our only other option is Jiren in slot 1. I don't want to rotate off Jiren either, just on the off chance that we don't end up taking down this final phase in 2 turns, and we have to see another rotation. I would rather not have the Zamasu around, right? Especially with the Frieza showing up. Having both of the 2 of them together would have been, like, kind of a nightmare rotation. So, with that being said, what I need to do is put Cell Max in slot 1 so that I can select enough orbs to get us over that threshold, and then put Jiren into full power. And so that means that I need to activate the Cell Max active skill right away. That is the first thing. So that when I select orbs with him, obviously I won't have the ability to activate the active skill. Okay, so there we go. We'll do that. And then, yeah, big unfortunate, but I do have to put Cell Max in slot 1. So let's go ahead and select those orbs. There we go. Now we are over the 25 orbs needed. Now we can put Jiren into full power. There we go. And the super attack is in slot 2. Okay, so that all the information would have given us is we would have been able to contemplate whether it was worthwhile to put Cell Max in slot 3 for the extra damage that he could do on this rotation, right? But now we know Jiren is going to take that super attack instead, or we have the target skill mechanic, so it's still going to be tanked by Cell Max. But yeah, all right, and then we should be good here. Let's see. Let me just double, triple, quadruple check to make sure that we are going to have the target skill up, because if not, then I need to prioritize starting for a 4th turn. Okay. With super bosses, yeah, okay. So then we do have the target skill available, because I was going to say, otherwise we need to make sure that we conserve these 7 orbs for the Broly trio, right? But we are just going to do the Cell Max active next turn, so that is perfectly fine to select those. Alright, this friend Cell Max, Rainbowed, is our ace. He's going to be doing quite a bit of damage here, so let's see what we can make happen. Okay, so far not so good. Oh my goodness. Oh no, just additional normals. Wait, he's doing no damage. Stop. That was it? Ugh. That was actually really bad. Okay, well, Jiren, you're gonna have to pick up some slack here, bud. Cell Max didn't manage to do, like, anything there for us. There we go. That's a little bit more what we want to see. Awesome, awesome. And then on the next rotation, we do have Broly. It is going to be turn 6, so we'll be able to activate his domain. Again, the only unit on the team that's going to be hurt by the domain is Jiren. But I don't think it's likely that Jiren's going to have to take any more attacks, especially not a super attack. So we can probably comfortably and freely activate the domain next turn, which is just going to help us do a little bit more damage. And then obviously the Broly himself is going to do a lot more damage after transforming into full power. And then, yeah, everybody should be safe on the next turn as well because of the Cell Max active. So I guess as long as we're able to do a little bit more damage than we did this rotation, then we should be good to go here, right? Wait, why don't we have the domain active? Fifth turn from his entry turn, and is it his 4th turn? That's why. Dang it. Okay, so we can't actually get him into full power. That hurts. That hurts for sure. All right, well, what we need to do then is we have to slot 1 Cell Max. Obviously, we're going to do the Cell Max active, so let's go ahead and get that up. Oh, I should have put him in slot 2 for the extra links there. No big deal, no big deal. Not worth resetting the app for. I think it's going to be fine either way. And then now we know we're safe for the turn, so we'll leave things like this. How do I want to set up the orbs? I think that, and then we can grab the AGLs with Broly. Perfect. And then we'll get some additional attack power with in here with the Broly trio. I guess, yeah, we'll select all of those. That should be fine. Okay, the orb field does look a little bit shaky right now. That's not my favorite thing, but I think we'll be all right on the next rotation here. Should be okay. And there definitely is going to be a next turn now, right? Without being able to get that domain activated, that hurt the amount of damage we were doing a lot for the turn. And because we rotated that Cell Max off, and just the way that the end of the phases has worked out and stuff, it looks like he's still building up his base amount of stats. So that's kind of awkward. But now he should be probably fully built up with those additional 4 hits that he took, so that's good. Which he's definitely going to need to be if we see another turn of him, you know, around on rotation. We did get pretty unlucky with the placement of Broly for this to only be his 4th turn. That is really, really unlucky. Okay, luckily we're getting some good additionals in there for us, but again, mine is built very defensively. Okay, come on, Selmax. Tank this for us, man. Yes, sir. You love to see it. Okay, hoping to get some crits from the Broly trio here. If we get extremely lucky, there will be a slot on the next turn where there's no attacks, so that we don't have to worry about Frieza at all, right? I'm going to take a quick pause at the beginning of the next rotation and just reread Frieza's kit and make sure that we still have some damage reduction available and whatnot. Make sure to do a proper turn with him so that we don't end up getting KO'd. And if it looks like there's some impossibilities, then that's the moment where we'll go ahead and just double Whis and finish this thing up. But I think we should be okay. All right, so there's no slot of safety here. Man, that really sucks. Okay, this is probably the order we have to run the rotation. Let me just double check the Frieza passive here. So starting from the 5th turn of his entry turn, which we should be at now, we need 3 or more key spheres obtained for the extra 40% damage reduction. He is absolutely going to need that damage reduction to not get KO'd by normals. And it should be his 5th entry turn, right? Yeah, 6th turn. So... Alright, I guess we just make sure, as long as we can get 3 orbs with Frieza, we should be fine here. And then there's no telling, like... dude, I'm a little bit worried about the, You know what? Screw it. Screw it. We're just gonna do this. I am just gonna double Whis up. I'm a little bit worried about either of the first 2 units. I mean, any unit on this rotation being able to tank a super attack. So, yeah, we'll just do that. And then it's not type key spheres, is it? It's just 3 or more key spheres. Okay. Just making sure, because we are going to select some rainbow key spheres here. Ugh. Yeah, the key field looks so bad. All right. That'll be fine, I guess. Okay, well, now we know we're not in danger of dying. We've got the double Whis up, so everybody's got 80% damage reduction on top of whatever else in their kit, so... We are 100% safe here. And then even if this is not the last turn of battle, we still have 1 more turn coming up where we'll have the double Whis active. Because obviously that'll stay active for 2 turns, so we should be fine here. I just think it would definitely not be worth taking another KO. We're already 40 minutes into the video. Might as well just hurry up and get our W already, right? Okay. Oh, wow. So was Frieza going to get super attacked in the final slot here? I guess it is a good thing that I used the double Whis, because 60% damage reduction would not have been enough. He is not strong enough defensively. Yeah, there was going to be a super attack on him. Okay, well, I guess I am glad I used the double Whis then. Which obviously now he's at over 100% damage reduction, so he will double-digit tank this. But that's only because of the Whis being active. Otherwise, that could have been probably another KO. So I'm glad we don't have to deal with that. Alright, and then we might as well throw up the domain really quick. Get that activated here. Then again, we still have our double Whis, so we are safe from taking any damage. We'll go ahead and just select our orbs, and we should be good to go here. That should be the Super Boss's mission cleared. So remember, people, do not be afraid to swallow your pride and use some items, right? Items are helpful. We had the no item mission for this, obviously, but that could be taken care of on its own with a separate run. The event doesn't cost any stamina. There's no attempt limits, so you could just run it as many times as you need to, doing the mission separately. That was definitely a gruesome enough mission that it was probably smart for us to do that, right? So there we go. We got the missions cleared here. At the end of the other video, or in the middle of the other video, we did actually attach some of the equips to Broly. But I guess just for continuity, we'll go ahead and pull up their... we'll go ahead and jump into the hidden potential and do the whole orb, or the equip attaching thing. My goodness, I can't speak. Okay, so for Broly... we just earned this orb here. I don't think it's going to be wise for us to attach that one. I do like having the defensive equips on him better at this point. So I think we're probably going to leave him alone. And then let's go ahead and look at Beast Gohan. Do I have my Beast Gohan at 79%? I think I do, actually. I do. So we do have access to all of the equips. So obviously we're going to upgrade this one to give him the level 9 defense. And then definitely want to upgrade this one to give the... Oh, that's right. Okay, so they did a dumb thing. They gave Broly the silver equip they've been giving to basically all of the anniversary characters up to this point, where they have 6 dodge and then the 6 defense. For some reason, they gave Beast Gohan 6 additional. And I think it's probably because they're assuming you want to get hit by attacks to build up his defense and or like his attack power. But I would still rather have the dodge. Dodge just has more longevity, and then over time, once we eventually reach stages where Beast Gohan can no longer tank, having the extra dodge is just going to help him, right? So, I'm a little bit bummed about that. But I will say that I think the additionals do service him a little bit more than the crit, so we still will attach this orb, especially because the defense power goes up by quite a bit as well, right? And then for the final one, same deal as the Broly. We have the additional in defense, or we could trade out that defense for some crit power. I don't think that's going to be smart. We'll go ahead and hang on to the orb that we've got on here now. So there we go. That is going to go ahead and finish up this 9th anniversary battle. The Super Bosses mission is done. So don't forget to check out the links in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.